Hello everybody, welcome to my class. Today I am going to discuss about continuity correction. So this is a kind of continuous approximation to a discrete distribution, for example binomial distribution, Poisson distribution, or any other kind of discrete distributions. So here today I am going to discuss about normal approximation to binomial distribution, which is called or which requires continuity correction. Before we go further into the class lesson, I would like you all to participate in 1 minute meditation session that makes you concentrated towards your studies. So let's do a start. Let's now observe a 15 seconds of silence. So keep your eyes closed. Now rub both of your hands and put your palm on your face, and under the palm slowly try to open your eyes and then get ready for the class for today. So before we discuss further about normal approximation to binomial distribution, so let's discuss about some of the problem solving example. So let's see. If say one random variable x follows binomial distribution with parametric value 10 and 0.3, that means here the 10 is the number of trials and this is the probability of success is 0.3. So in this case, for example, if you would like to find probability that x equals to r success, in that case you would have used the formula NCR PR Q n minus r. Alright, so this sort of formula you have used it before. So here in this case you have p equal to 0.3, so q is obviously that is going to be 1 minus p, that is 0.3, which is 0.7. Alright, so let's see, for example, if you would like to find probability of x equals to 7, for example x equal to 7, then your n value is 10, that means in place of NCR you would write 10C7, and then p value is 0.3, and to the power r means 7, and times q value is 0.7. now you can see here 0.7 to the power n minus r means 10 minus 7 is 3. Then using calculator, you can go to the calculator and you will see that your answer is 0.009, or you can write 0. And also suppose that another example where x follows binomial distribution with parametric value np, and n means here 30, for example, and p is again we take 0.3, for example. Alright, and if you are interested to find probability of x is bigger than 2 out of 30 trials, in that case what idea you can apply here? 1 minus p x is less or equals to 2. I hope you have knowledge of this sort of complementary theorem of probability that we have already used before, and then it is less or equals to 2, and in this case what you can do, 1 minus, that means it is p x equals to 0 plus p x equals to 1, and it goes up to 3 square and then times 0.7 power 28 has been already taken common out, so you are left with 1 over here. So by using calculator your answer will be nearly equals to 0.998. alright. So this is the way that we calculate the probability in binomial distribution. But what happens, especially in this case, in the second example case, is that if you have to find, for example, p x is greater or equals to 16 or 15, say greater or equals to 15, then what do you require here? You require p x equals to 15 plus p x equals to 16 plus up to p x equals to 30, because you can see here that your n value is, number of trial is 30, so bigger than greater or equals to 15 means it starts from 15 and ends to 30. If you count these steps 15 to 30, you have to have at least you have to have 15 steps of calculation, so it's time taking. And similarly, if you use the complementary probability theorem, for example, for this, if you are writing p x is greater or equals to 15, and if you apply from another side, then this is 1 minus p x is less than 15, that you know by using the complementary probability theorem. And in this case also you will see that if you continue from here, then it's going to be 1 minus less than 15 means it will start from p x equals to 0, then p x equals to 1, p x equals to 2, and so on, like it goes up to p up to 14 steps. So in this way also you will require 15 steps in the calculations. So although this is possible for it, but it will be tedious and time taking. So we will see for some alternative way to save our time and effort. Here you can see the graphical representation of binomial distribution, which is discrete distribution. So here in this case, this graph is for a random variable x that follows binomial distribution with parametric values. Here you can see the total number of trial is 7, and the probability value, it was based on 0.3. So by using, so you can take the varied value along the x-axis and the probabilities values, that means probability of x equals to r, that is probability of success at each trial along y-axis, and our bar graph is like this. Okay, so this is a bar graph for the binomial probability distribution. It is NCR, PR, Q, n minus r. So n value is 7 and p value is 0.3. So put r equals to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 successively up to 7. Our bar graph will be like this. Okay, so note one thing over here. So if you multiply n times p, then you can see here that the value of n is 7 and times p means it is 0.3, and so it is, if you multiply these two, it's going to be 2.1, and if you compare with that value 5, this is less than 5. All right, and also if you see n times q, then this is 7 times of 1 minus 0.3, and which is going to be 7 times 0.7, and it is 49, that is 4.9, which is again less than 5, only a little less than 5. All right, so here you can see that both n times p and n times q are less than 5. That means there is no regularity in the height of this bar and area under bar if you consider a curve like this. So therefore up to the n number of trials, that is the value of n, where n times p is less than 5 and also n times q is less than 5, the graph will not show any sort of decision giving shape over here. All right, so note it down. Now let's see that what happens when you increase the number of trials. So here in this case, this is the bar graph for a binomial variate having parametric values. You can see here n is 10, and then probability value is 0.3, and then this is the variate value, and along this is the probability values plotted against the y-axis. And here in this case also you can see that if you consider a curve from on top of each bar, you will see that the bar has no proper shape here. All right, and also in this case let's check it. Your n times p value is going to be here 10 times of 0.3, so it is 3, which is less than 5 again, and then another is n times q, that means this is 10 times of 0.7, q is 0.7, that is 1 minus p, and this value is 7, so this is bigger than 5. So let's check that here, that one is less than 5 and another is bigger than 5. That means this is also not the situation where the curve gives a proper shape, and where we can match up this binomial probability to this sort of another kind of continuous probability. All right, so there must be one condition, that should be less than 5, both NP and NQ. Now let's see what happens when we increase the number of trials further from n equals to 10. So here you can see that this is the graph for n follows binomial distribution with parametric value 15, and this is 0.3, and this is the graph for, so we have been increasing the number of trials over here. So previously it was 7, then 10, then now 15 for the same probability, and you can see that in this case the graph is taking a proper symmetrical shape about some central point over here. So in this case you can see n times p is 15 times 0.3, and this is 45, that means 4.5, which is still less than 5 but is very close to 5. Okay, and then what you can see in this case, n times q equals to, this is 15 times q is 1 minus p, that is 1 minus 0.3, which is 15 times 0.7, so it will be something like that, and this is bigger than 5. So these two NP and Q are not in the same direction. It is less than 5 and it is bigger than 5, but still you can see that the mean value, that is mean for this distribution, is 4.5, and you can see that about the line 4.5, this is 4 and 5, and between 4.5 the curve is approximately taking the symmetrical shape, and this is called the normal shape. All right, but even though the approximation is not very close to, but it seems that as if this binomial distribution fits to this symmetrical curve once we design this for the estimation. So here you can see this is the bar graph for x follows binomial distribution with parametric value. Here in this case you can see that it's up to we are taking 30, and also let's see for 20 now. This is for 20. So here in this case, if you talk about this, then its parametric value is going to be n is 20, and probability value I have taken, it was 0.3. So you can see that as we increase the number of trial, that means it's been increasing, and also you can see that here n times p, that is 20 times of 0.3, and here it will be 6. All right, and this is bigger than 5, and then if you check for n times q, you can see that this is 20 and times 0.7, and this value is how much it is? 140. That means 14, and which is again bigger than 5. So here you can see that both np greater than 5 and nq bigger than 5, and the mean is n times p, you know that, and that is mean value is 6 over here. So if you consider some sort of curve from on top of each bar, then you can see that as if it is fitting to the normal distribution with the mean position exactly at or very close to the mean value of the normal distribution, which is expressed as x follows normal distribution with mean mu and variance sigma squared. So here you can see that mean of binomial distribution is 6, and about this mean position the curve is very close to the symmetrical shape about this line which is passing through this mean position, and you can see that this is analog to the normal curve. That means the situation of binomial distribution, when it fits to the situation of normal distribution, then we can approximate the facts of binomial distribution by using the normal approximation. So here it is 6. Now let's further increase the value of n, that is the value of the number of trials. So this is a graph for x follows binomial distribution with parametric value. You can see we have increased n further from 20 to 30 now, and still I am taking the same probability, that is 0.3, and its mean value, you can see that n times p is here. If you multiply n and p, this is going to be 9, which is bigger than 5, and also n times q, then it is going to be 21, which is again bigger than 5. So note that in both the cases np and nq are bigger than 5, and its mean value is, mean of this distribution value we have got is 9, and you can see that about this position, mean position, if you say this is x bar for this binomial distribution, this is 9, and about this mean position you can see that curve is nearly normal. That means the curve is giving symmetrical shape about this sort of thing. So if you further increase from n equals to 20 to 30, the curve if you consider from on top of each bar is even closer to the normal distribution curve. Alright, so normal distribution curve is always found to be as it is symmetrical about the mean position. So note it down. Now what if you further increase the number of trials in the binomial distribution to 50 now, and then with the same probability, at this time I am talking, for example, you can see that it's very close, its shape is very close to the normal distribution, and here also you can see that n times p, if you calculate this n times p, you will find that n times p is bigger than 5 and n times q is also bigger than 5. So note it down. To approximate binomial distribution things about normal distribution, then what sort of things having developing here, that you will see that for the condition n times p bigger than 5 and also n times q bigger than 5, the binomial distribution situation fits to the normal distribution situation. Therefore we can apply the case of normal distribution to the binomial distribution in order to make our work easy. And similarly you can see that here, what if you increase further to 100, for example 100, yes, n equal to 100 if I am making. So in that case, if you increase that further to 100, then your curve that you obtain is again very close to the normal curve, and this is the reason why the normal approximation or the case of normal distribution can be applied to the case of binomial distribution in order to find the probability for binomial events. So let's summarize the thing. When n was 7, it's very far away from the nature of the normal curve. When you further increase n, then it is getting closer and closer to the, it is trying to get closer to the normal curve. Now it has been further increased to 15. You can see that the shape of normal curve, if you consider from on top of each bar, so you can observe that as if it is trying to take the shape of normal distribution curve. So if you further increase it, and then here, then here, and for 100 it's very much almost to the normal distribution curve, although this is not the graph for the normal distribution. As for large value of n, and also we have found that both n times p and n times q bigger than 5, in that case this is appropriate to use normal distribution situations to the binomial distribution situations. So let's now see that how we can connect the binomial distribution case to the normal distribution case. That means how we'll see that how is it possible to use normal distribution in order to find the binomial probability, and this is called the normal approximation to the binomial distribution. And there is a term called continuity correction, means that you know that the binomial distribution is not a continuous distribution, this is a discrete distribution, while normal distribution is a continuous distribution. So at some condition where n times p is bigger than 5 and n times q is bigger than 5, in some places you could also see that for even better approximation, n times q is bigger than 10 and n times p should also be bigger than 10, but here we rely on this sort of situation that we have seen in the previous bar graphs also. So here now, while in normal approximation to the binomial distribution, we make some continuity correction, because binomial distribution is not continuous. Then from on top of the bar, for example this is 9, here you can see you can go halfway over here to this side and another halfway to this side, although this is not the part of this bar. And then if you consider this line, which is halfway away from the mean position in this case, so mean, you can see that n times p value in this case is 30 times, p value is 0.3, so this is 9, so mean value is here 9. So we have taken this value as 9.5, and similarly go ahead another half about this x equals to 9 over here, and then you consider this bar, and then you make one, join this top of these two bars that we have drawn right now, and then you have one bar between x equal to 9.5 and also x equals to, sorry, it is 8.5 over here leftwards, so it is 8.5 and this is 9.5, and in this case you can say that x lies between 9.5 and is greater or equals to 8.5, okay, or if it is included you can write like this. So this sort of writing is for the continuous distribution. Now similarly check for x equals to 10 and for x equal to 7, for x equals to 11 up to 30, you can do here start from 0. So here for x equal to 9, towards half unit left from x equals to 10, and then we try half unit right about x equal to 10, then this about this position we will draw another graph by the height of this graph at x equals to this bar, this line at x equals to 10, and then instead of calling it bar graph, better you say this is a line graph for binomial distribution. This is now complete bar, and this line is for, this is 10 and this is 10.5, and now you join the top of all these three lines and you will have then another bar. So let's see that what is being forming here by taking adjustment of half unit across each bar. That means we are forming a connected bar, we are forming a connected bar diagram which is for the continuous set of distribution. Similar work you can do like this. We have formed line graph into a connected bar diagram, and it's like a histogram, and by taking little correction of plus minus 0.5 unit about each line, then we could form a connected bar diagram called histogram, which is for a continuous set of data. And also from the middle of each bar, if you meet up middle of each bar by a smooth curve, for example, then you can see that as if the binomial situation is getting fit to the normal situation. Therefore, the properties of normal distribution can be applied to the binomial distribution in order to calculate the binomial probabilities. And condition that we can apply the normal approximation to the binomial distribution is that we have to check whether or not n times p and also n times q both are bigger than 5. If this situation is met, then practically, as we had seen earlier, that then binomial distribution shows very close nature of the normal distribution. Therefore, for the large value of n, if I talk, then that means large value of n means here it is supposed as n should be greater or equals to 30. So if you find n is greater or equals to 30, it is supposed to be large sample value, or the large number of trials where both n times p and n times q are bigger than 5, then normal approximation to the binomial distribution is possible by making continuity correction. So why it is called the continuity correction is that if you see the line graph of binomial distribution is not a continuous distribution, but making slightly adjustment by plus minus 0.5, we could fit it to a diagram of continuous set of data, and because of this correction, this sort of idea is called continuity correction. Now we will talk about how we do the continuity correction. So for example, you are intended to find probability of x equal to 7, for example. Let me check for x equals to 7. So this is the case of binomial distribution, but we are now trying to find probability of x equals to 7. So by using the normal approximation, what we can hear that 7 is at discrete point, but if you look at this histogram now, 6.5 and also 7.5 at the continuous point boundaries. All right. So in order to find the probability of x equals to 7, as we are using the normal approximation by meeting this sort of situation, all right, what you can do actually, that 7 is discrete case, so we will not use 7, we will use the neighborhood of this 7. So in 7, if you deduct 0.5, that means we are considering this continuous boundary, so it is 6.5, and then if you add up 0.5 to 7, that means we are talking of this continuous boundary, that means it is 7.5, and you can write here, you have to find this probability. So in discrete case, you are directly finding p x equal to 7 by using NCR PR Q n minus R formula. Now here you can approximate this binomial situation by using the normal situation like this. So here in this case, you can see that it is p. If you convert that into normal variate, so you know that a standard normal variate z is given by x minus mu by sigma, that means it is variance. So in this case, x minus mu value is n times p, and the sigma value is, the variance of normal distribution of npq, so sigma value is under the root npq. All right. So here in this case, you can see that you convert that into a standard normal variate, so x will be turned to z now. So this is z, and then it is x value 7.5 minus mu value np, already we have 9 and divided by NPQ means NP we have 9 and Q value is, as the probability was 0.3, so now Q value is 0.7. okay, and then it is bigger than, you can write here 6.5, x is 6.5, and then minus mu value is again 9 and the variance value is under root here 9 times 0.7, or you can calculate otherwise the variance value for this sort of distribution estimate. Now let's check that what if you calculate this probability based on the normal approximation here. So first of all, you can see that here n times p is 10, that means I am talking of x follows binomial distribution with n value 10 and the probability value 0.3. so this is times 0.3, and you can see that it is going to be equals to 3, and this is not bigger than 5, it is less than 5. all right, and then for example NQ, if you are finding this case, so n value is 10 and Q value is 0.7, equals to it is 7, but this is bigger than 5. But the situation that we have seen that both n times p and n times q should be bigger than 5. But let's see what happens if you apply the normal approximation to binomial distribution over here. So in this case, if you are using the case of normal approximation, then we have p x equals to 7, and it will be like if you approximate it, it will be 6.5 less than x less than 7.5, as we have just seen in the histogram over here. Now we convert that into g, so g will be given by less than, this is 7.5, and mean value in this case you can see this is 3, and the variance value is, it is going to be under root n times p times q. N times p is already 3 here, and q is 0.7, that is 1 minus 0.3. and here in this case what you can see here that it is going to be 6.5 now. So this is 6.5 minus mean value is again 3, and divided by the variance value is 3, n times p is already 3, and q value if you put, it will give you the standard deviation. So root of the variance is the standard deviation, so we require here a standard deviation. It is 7, so g, we have already seen that the standard normal where it is x minus mu by sigma. all right, and if you further calculate this this value by using the calculator, and then in the calculator you will see that this is 6.5 minus 3, and this value you will get is, it is 2.415 by using the calculator, and then this is g, and then this is 3.105. all right, and then if you would like to write in terms of phi, then you can write here 3.105 minus phi 2.415, and you should have knowledge of expressing the probability in the rest of the part in the normal distribution probability that we have already done. And so it is, then you can go to the z table. That means you have to go to the normal distribution table, and you should have knowledge to see knowledge that how to find this probability, how to read this probability by using the normal distribution table. So this time I am not going to explain, so I expect you to have previous knowledge regarding how to read off the probability value from the normal distribution table. So this value I have found as 0.99, nearly equals to 86, might be 99 also, and then this is 0.99 for probability for this is 0.9921, and then finally my answer is 0.0065. So let's see that in this case the binomial distribution didn't fulfill the case of continuity correction or the normal approximation. So if you compare this answer by using the direct formula and also by approximating through the normal approximation, you can see that the answer is vast difference. Here the answer after the second decimal place is 990, but here it is 65. That means since the condition didn't meet in this case, therefore the answer we obtained by using normal approximation is wrong in this case. Alright, now let's check for this sort of thing. So here we have used the directly binomial distribution formula in order to calculate the probability x is bigger than 2. Alright, and we have these many steps to calculate here, and our answer was like this. So let's see for that this problem what happens. So now let's talk for this problem. X follows binomial distribution with n value 30 and the probability value 0.3. So I am talking of this problem by using the normal approximation. So in that case, let's suppose that we want to find p x is greater than 2 by using the normal approximation. So here you can see that n times p, n is here 30 and this is 3, so this is 9, and this is which is greater than 5. So one condition for normal approximation has been fulfilled here. And also if you find n q, so n means here 30, q is now 1 minus 0.3, that is 1 minus p, so this is 21, and this is again bigger than 5. So both the conditions for the normal approximation have been matched over here. Therefore this is possible to do continuity correction or to find the probability by normal approximation to the binomial distribution. So here we require mean. So in this case you can see that x follows now, since these two conditions are met, so x follows now normal distribution with mean value n times p and the variance value n times p times q. That is, you can see here that x follows normal distribution with mean value n times p, means here already we have calculated 9, and n times p times q means it is n times p is 9 and q is 0.7. that is, you can see x follows normal distribution with the mean value 9 and the variance value is this is 6.3. all right. Okay, so therefore you could see here that mu value is 9 and sigma square value is 6.3. that means your standard deviation value will be under the root 6.3. so here, since you can say since both n times p is bigger than 5 and n times q bigger than 5 and also n equals to 30, means this is the starting point of the large sample size. Therefore normal approximation to the binomial distribution can be applied here. all right. So in this case what you need to find here, probability of x is bigger than 2. previously it was probability of x equal to 7, equal sign was there, now we have bigger than sign. Then in that case let's see what happens. So let's go to here, for example bigger than 2 I am talking, or take any example. If I am talking probability of x is bigger than 7 itself, for example bigger than 7, and if you are going to do normal approximation, then what you write here, bigger than 7 means what? Bigger than 7 means it doesn't include 7, and 7 itself is at non-continuous point, that is a discrete point. So the value bigger than 7 which is at the continuous point is here, that which is 7.5. So when you approximate this discrete point to the continuous point, in that case what you can write here, x is greater equals to greater or equals to 7.5. But let's see here, if you write x is greater than 7 and approximate to this point greater equals to 7.5, then does it match here? Definitely it will, because it will not it should not include 7 itself, but it should include the value bigger than 7, so that you can write at the continuous point the first value is 7.5. all right. And similarly, for example, if you to find px is greater or equals to 7, that means this is 7 is itself at the discrete point, but it should include 7 because of this equal sign here in the greater or equal to. Therefore, the first value which is at the continuous point and also includes 7 is here, that is 6.5. This point is 6.5. So in that case, if you take this discrete sort of thing to the nearest continuous thing, then it will be bigger than 6.5. So in this case, what you can say here is that saying greater than 6.5 is we are talking of this continuous point, and that also includes the discrete point 7. all right. So in this way we make the continuity correction by taking a correction factor of plus minus 0.5 as per it requires, like this. So now you can see here in this question is that if it is bigger than 2, so 2 is itself at the discrete point, so the first continuous point will be not 2, because it should not include 2. That means we are talking of if it is greater than, then greater or equals to, that means the nearest continuous point will be 2.5, just like we discussed here for x is bigger than 7. So now if you use this, then after that you convert that into g. In that case, what happens, p x if you convert into g, that is x minus mu by sigma, then in that case g is greater than, look at here, x is discrete, so saying greater than or greater equal to are two different things, but g is continuous distribution. So in the continuous curve, either you say x is greater equals to 2 and x is greater than 2, having the same meaning, because the integration or the area of this boundary point will be 0. Therefore, for the continuous you can write bigger equal to 2 or bigger equal to any value or bigger than that value will be the same thing. So here let's standardize this now. So it is 2.5, so we write here 2.5 minus n times p, that is mean value is 9, and divided by sigma value is under root 6.3. Now go to the calculator, under root 6.3, so you divide by under the root, you can see here under the root 6.3, and our answer is, you can see that minus 2.58966. So you can write here minus 2.589, so it's nearly equals to minus 2.590. So you can write here minus 2.590, and by using symmetry, because this is minus value, so here you can use symmetry that you should have knowledge of. So using symmetry, you can see that in this case equals to p z is less than 2.590, then you will see that. And now you can also write this as phi 2.590. Now go to a standard normal variate table, and then you can see it's available online. So here you can see here that your value is 2.590. So first of all we check here in the table 2.5. So you can see that here in the table, and you should have used to of reading of the values of probabilities from this table. So 2.5 is here, and we shall go to 9, and then we have 0. So it is, you can see that it is 0.9952. So this value is 0. Let's check it again. So this value is 2.59 is 9952. So this is 9952. So let's now compare these two. Now you can see that this sort of probability we have found by using directly the formula for binomial distribution, and our answer is 0.998. But here in this case, if you use the normal approximation to the binomial distribution, then in this case you could see that your answer is slightly different, that is 9952. So if you compare these two values, then up to 2 significant decimal our answer is same, but here in the third significant decimal this is 8 and 2, because as to the 2 significant decimal you can see the values are very much close to each other, then the third significant and fourth significant figure in this case will have little effect. So suffering with a little bit of error, if we could work in an easy way by taking reference of normal approximation, then this is wise to go through the continuity correction method than to go through this sort of tedious method. Especially in this case is fine up to greater than 2, but for example I had earlier discussed that what if out of how many are here, out of 30, if you would like to calculate probability greater or equals to 15, for example it requires 15 steps, or x is less or equals to 15, it requires 16 steps, and it requires a lot of time and effort, and it will be tedious to calculate your binomial probability by using the binomial distribution formula. In this case you can see that if you have made the condition and if you have knowledge of this sort of continuity correction, so if this sort of method, if it takes 5-6 minutes, then this sort of method if you go through by continuity correction method, it will take only 1 minute. Alright, so it saves you a lot of. So let's now summarize that how to do the continuity correction. So I am taking some part of this graph, and my graph is like this. So for example, provided it fulfills that n is greater or equals to 30, for example, in general, not necessary, but it works better with the n value greater than or equals to 30, and but this is the necessary condition is that n times p must be bigger than 5, and also n times q must be bigger than 5. Only then we can say binomial distribution n times p can be approximated by using normal distribution with mu n times p and variance value n times p times q. So for example, as we are summarizing the fact now, so what you can see, for example, if you would like to find probability of x is equals to 8, so you can see about 8 here, this is 8, and now we consider 8.5 over here, and 7 it will be minus 0.5 means 7.5, that means the correction we have done by 0. plus minus 0.5 in this case. And if you see the part of curve here is that it's going this way all the way, and it will pass through this way. So here you can see that the curve is continuous part, so continuity part of the curve has been taken at this point, it will go from outside, alright, taken at this point. So instead of finding probability x equals to 8, what you have to take, you have to take either or both the points which are on the curve. So here you can see that if you consider the histogram, so this line is for continuous part, this line is for continuous part, but 8 is the line graph for binomial distribution, so this is not the continuous part, so we consider continuous part as we are approximating this sort of thing through the continuous distribution, which is normal distribution. So you have to find this probability. So when you are making normal approximation, that means we consider at the continuous point, so that is less than 8.5, and then this is bigger than 7.5. okay, so 8 is between these two. 8 itself is discrete, but these 7.5 and 8.5 are the points at the continuous part of this curve or of the histogram. All right, and after that you can convert that into g. So this is 7 minus 5 minus mu value, that is NP value, by n times p times q under root. This is the variance for binomial distribution, and we are using the sort of normal distribution, and then it will be changed into g, and that is less than 8.5, then your n times p value divided by under root n times p, and proceed like we have done just earlier. For example, if you would like to find px is greater than 8 or anything you can take here. So as I am talking with 8, so bigger than 8 means 8 is not at the continuous point on this graph. You can see on this histogram or normal curve, if you have as you have considered through this, but it should also not include 8. That means it will not include 8, but it should touch the first nearest continuous point, which is over here, which is 8.5. Similarly, you can see here 8.5. So you can write here, after continuity correction, x is greater or equals to 8.5. that means we have reached to the continuous point, and also 8 is not included. And for example, if it is given like x is greater or equals to 8, that means it includes 8 also. That means you have to adjust so that your inequality will include the value 8, which is at the discrete point. That means if you write for this, x is bigger than 7.5, that means 7.5 is at this continuous point we are talking of, but bigger than 7.5, that means it includes all these value bigger than 7.5, including 8 also. So because of this equal sign, 8 should be included. Then can you think of, if you have this sort of thing given, px is less than 8 and bigger than 3, that means here you can see that 3 and 8 both are at the discrete points, but at the continuous point when you adjust it, it should not include 3 and also it should not include 8, because in the sign of inequality there is no equal sign. So after taking the continuity correction, you can say that x is less than less or equals to, you can write here 7.5. So 7.5 is less than 8, and which is also on the continuity point, and here greater equals to x is bigger than 3 if you are talking of, then greater equals to, you can write here greater than 3 means it should not include 3, that means it should include a value greater than 3. So at this point 3 is 3.5, so you can write here it is 3.5. So 3.5 and 7.5 are at the continuous point and also fulfills this sort of inequality for the discrete value 3 and 8, where 3 and 8 are not included. And now let us talk about what if p3 is less or equals to x is less than 8. You can see that 3 should be included. That means you have to write 2.5 is less than x is less or equals to, where less than, then there is less or equal to, where less or equal to, then there is less than sign, and this is less or equals to 7.5. You can see that 2.5 and 7.5 are all at the 3.5 is here, no, it is 2.5. So 3.5 must be somewhere here, this is 3.5. okay, so you can see that here 2.5 is at the continuous point, which includes 3 also. So we say bigger than this. Less than 8 means we have written 7.5, it doesn't include 8, that is the discrete point, but it is just less than the discrete point, and 7 point itself is on continuous part of this diagram. And similarly you can see here that if both are written like 3 less or equals to x less or equals to 8 for example, then your continuity correction will become, it will be 2.5 because 3 has been included. So if x is bigger than 2.5, it includes 3 also, and is less or equals to 8 means it should include 8 also. That means if you say 8 less or equals to 8.5, so this is at the continuous part, and that also includes the discrete value 8. So you can write here 8.5. So remember this sort of thing whenever you deal with normal approximation to the binomial distribution and while doing continuity correction in order to find the probability of binomial through this normal distribution method. Okay guys, lastly let's do this problem in order to apply the method of continuity correction to the case of binomial distribution. So here you can see in this question is that normal approximation to the binomial distribution. This is an example that I am going to deal with, where the normal approximation to the binomial distribution is applicable. So the question says that on average 1 in 10 of the chocolates produced in a factory are misshaped. In a random sample of 1000 chocolates, find the probability that fewer than 80 are misshapes, between 90 and 115 inclusive are misshapes, and lastly 20 or more are misshapes. Alright, so let's see that how it is given here. On average 1 in 10 of the chocolate produced in a factory are misshapes. That is probability that the chocolate is going to be misshapes is 1 by 10. Alright, and your n value is given as, you can see here that this is 1000, and then it says that find the probability that fewer than 80 chocolates are misshapes. So look at here, it's saying that out of 1000, 80 are misshapes. That means this is the case of binomial distribution, and if you apply the binomial distribution formula, it requires a lot of time and effort, and that will be tedious calculation. Therefore you check that whether the condition for the normal approximation to binomial distribution met here. So you can see here that n times p equals to n is 1000 and p is 1 by 10, and then it is 100. So obviously this is bigger than 5, and also you check that n times q is, it is n is again 1000 and q is 1 minus 1 by 10 is you can write 1 minus 1 by 10, and then this is 1000 times 9 by 100, sorry, this is 9 by 100, and then you can cancel this out. No, this is 1 by 10, so it is going to be 9 by 10, and this sort of things have been cancelled out. So your n times q is here 900, it is far bigger than 5 again, and you also require the value of sigma. So here mu value, that is mean for this distribution, is n times p. We have already got that as 100, and the variance is sigma squared, that is n times p times q 100, and q value we have already seen, this is 9 by 10. So you can write here 9 by 10. After you calculate it, variance is going to be 90. Therefore your sigma value is going to be under the root 90. Okay, so you can say that since here n is greater or equals to 30, and also n times p is bigger than 5, n times q is bigger than 5, that is also bigger than 5, you can see here. So therefore you can say that normal approximation, so write in short, normal approximation to the binomial, okay, to the binomial distribution is appropriate. Alright, and now it says that to calculate. So here, so therefore you can say x now follows normal distribution with mean value mu is 100 and the variance value is 90. Okay, and your g value is x minus mu by sigma. So here x minus mu value is, you can see that this is 90 and divided by sigma is under, no, so mu value is, x minus mu value is 100, not 90. So that is going to be, this is the position of mu, so that is going to be 100 and divided by standard deviation, that is sigma, so under root this is 90. Alright, and now you need to find probability of x is, you can see here it says that you have to find the probability less than 80. Alright, so less than 80 means you write here less than 80, but 80 is at the discrete point. So if you do the continuity correction here, so I am writing C in short for continuity correction, then you can see that Px is less than 80 means the continuous point doesn't include this 80, so we talk the value below 80, and that should be at the continuous point that we have discussed just earlier here. So after taking the continuous point, you can write x is less or equals to minus 0.5 means it is 79.5. So okay, by the property of this sort of distribution, you can see that 79.5 is at the continuous point. So after taking the continuity correction, we could see that this sort of value is at continuous point, and also this is less than 80, that means it does not include the value 80 itself. Now go to the further calculation. So in this case, after that you continue that, then it is in fact you have Px is less or equals to 79, you wrote, you can write now less than 79.5 because this is now continuous distribution, and whether saying less or equals to less than having the same meaning over here. Now you convert that into g, so this is P and g is less than x minus mu by sigma, you can see here. So x value in this case is 79.5, mu value is 100, and the sigma value is under root 90, and then you go to the calculator. In the calculator you will see that you will find g value as, so this is less, so this is minus 2.161, 16 nearly equals to, this is 2, sorry, it is 2.16, and then by using symmetry this would be equals to 2.16. So here I am a bit direct because I suppose that you have done a lot of problems from normal distribution already. Now go to the g table, like I am talking of this table, alright, and you know how to read the value from the table and do the similar procedure, and you will find it that it is 1 minus, okay, not by using the symmetry because this is less than, so it will be 1 minus, and then it is 1 minus by using the g table, it is 0.9846, and after deducting this from 1 it is going to be 0.0154, and this is the answer. Alright, so in this way we can make our work easy by applying normal approximation or the continuity correction to the binomial distribution. So now in the second part of this question it says that find the probability between 90 and 115 inclusives. Okay, so 19 and 50 is 115 are included here, and what is the probability for those many misshapes? So here we find the probability between 90 and 115. So our CC means the continuity correction. So what happens here, you can see that both 90 and 115 have been included here. So how I do this side, so less or equal to, then I write here less than, and it should be included, so it is 115.5. Does it make sense? Yes, 115.5 is at continuous point, and less than 115 also includes this discrete point 115, and you write here bigger than, so this is the bracket, bigger than, greater equals to 90 point, that means it includes 90 also. So what I write here, instead of writing, yes, minus 1.5. So 89 0.5 is at on the continuous point that we have just seen earlier, and bigger than 89.5 also includes 90, so this sort of correction is correct. 1 minus, and this value is from the table is 0.8657. Close this, and finally our answer is, by using calculator, our answer is 0.8145. alright. So this is the answer. In this way we can easily calculate the binomial probability by using the continuity correction in the normal approximation to the binomial distribution. So let's have all the steps carefully regarding this question number, second part of this question. What about this 3? Here it is asking you to find x is 120 or more are misshapes. So it is telling you that 120 or more means greater or equals to 120. Now apply the continuity correction over here, continuity correction, and then do the similar process. So can you try this yourself? Okay, good idea is that once you have learnt up to now, you should be able to do this sort of the third part of this question, and also any kind of problem if you see, you should be able to do all the problems that relates the use of continuity correction. So let me tell you what is the answer for this probability is. So answer for this probability we have found as 0.02. okay, so once you have done this work, you can match up your answer whether or not this is 0.02. okay guys, I am sure you will now be able to do almost all problems from the book as well as from the past paper, where it includes the use of continuity correction in the normal approximation to the binomial distribution. So this is all for now, and thank you for your patience.